speaking this morning with Neil Young from Elixir Energy. Neil, good morning.
Good morning, and nice to be talking to you again.
Bit of a milestone here for the newly named Grandis gas project in Queensland, Neil, with an initial contingent resource here. Just talk us through the numbers.
Well, as all the numerous Latin scholars out there know, Grandis is Latin for large, and we're very pleased to book a pretty large initial contingent resource number in our relatively recent acquired project located in southern Queensland. Nearly 400 billion cubic feet of gas in a 2C case and some associated condensate, i.e. light oil, and we think we've been fairly conservative on that front. And as and when we come to drill this, which we plan to do in the latter part of next year, we will validate those condensate numbers.
Well, tell us a bit more. So you're planning to drill the Daydream 2 well, are you?
Correct. The Daydream 1 well was one of around half a dozen drilled by BG Group, now Shell, around a decade ago in the same geological feature called the Taroom Trough. And the data from those wells was carefully analysed by our team and allowed us to determine that there was a discovered resource of materiality in our licence. We've had that independently audited by an international reserves firm called ERC Equipoise. And now we're planning to drill what's an appraisal well, not an exploration well, in our block called Daydream 2, which is about 5 kilometres from Shell's well, Daydream 1. And we, subject to rig availability, we plan to drill that in around Q4 next year.
And will you be looking for a potential partner here?
I think partnering opportunities are very strong. Following the initiation of the Ukraine war, the value of gas resources in Australia has been seen to have significantly risen. And we might have seen that in the market last week with a very generous bid for Elixir Energy, who has nearby gas assets. And that's being acquired by a very large American-based private equity firm called EIG. And I think that validates the attractiveness of the location and the country. And indeed, we are already seeing potential partners who have a keen interest in what we are doing. And we are highly confident that if we want to, we can pick a very solid partner to help us fund and otherwise move this asset forward.
And Neil, as you point out in the announcement here, the contingent resource booked for the Grandis gas project. This is in addition to what you've got in Mongolia. Any updates as far as this portfolio?
Yes, exactly. Our coal seam gas or coal bed methane project in Mongolia is advancing well. In the next few weeks, we plan to commence pumping our first and the country's first extended pilot production test that will pump water and then gas, and presuming that the gas is commercial, which we anticipate to be the case, then that will allow a reserves booking, again, our first and the country's first. We also have a green hydrogen project in the country, partnering with Japan's SoftBank Group, an enormous company on a global scale. We entered an MOU with them earlier this year. I met them on quite a few times in Mongolia in recent weeks, and we are both very keen to advance our current partnership to a more binding one, pending on the results of an engineering pre-feasibility study, which we anticipate being able to announce to the market in the next few weeks. So it's a pretty action-packed time on all our three projects. We're hitting the end of the year, hopefully with a bit of a bang.
Yes, lots happening. Neil, good to speak this morning. Thank you.
Pleasure to do so, and look forward to giving an update on these various things in due course.